Today we're diving into one of those small but powerful ways to make your home feel cozy, welcoming, and clean, which is keeping it smelling fresh. I don't know about you, but there's something special about walking into a room that has a clean, inviting scent. It instantly lifts your mood and brings a sense of calm. And this is something that's been super important in my own life. But as homemakers, we know that maintaining a fresh smelling home can be a real challenge, especially with busy schedules, kids, and daily messes that are just a part of life. So in this episode, I'm sharing some of my go-to hacks for a fresh smelling home that doesn't require fancy products or a complex routine. These are just simple everyday tips that I've found have made a big difference, from opening up the windows to refreshing the linens and using essential oils. They're easy to add into your regular homemaking routine, and they create a home that feels both cozy and clean without extra stress, because that's our end goal. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore some easy ways to bring more freshness into your home. Are you an overwhelmed stay-at-home mom struggling to keep your home organized and cozy while balancing endless tasks? Do you feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Are you constantly comparing your life and home to others on social media? If you're feeling lost in your role as a homemaker and mother, you're not alone. Welcome to Modern Homemaker Mom, the podcast that provides simple homemaking strategies rooted in biblical principles. Each episode offers real-life solutions to help you confidently create a peaceful, inviting home. From managing your time and priorities to decluttering, organizing, and building healthy habits, you'll learn how to organize your home and life with purpose. I'm Jynae, a wife, mom, and homemaker just like you. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by the daily demands of running a household while trying to nurture your family and maintain a sense of peace in your home. Through my own journey of learning homemaking skills and living out my calling as a wife and mother, I have found freedom in embracing these roles with joy. Now I'm here to help other stay-at-home moms do the same without the stress. It's time to confidently step into your calling and create a home that reflects God's love. Let's build a home that you and your family love, one step at a time. Okay, to kick things off, I just wanted to read a quick review by one of the listeners on this podcast. I have followed Jynae for a long time. I love everything she is about, and I am so excited for this podcast. She speaks so clearly and so beautifully. Not too often I can just sit and listen to a podcast without getting bored. That doesn't happen here. I love it. I just absolutely love reading these reviews that you guys leave for me. It warms my heart and it makes me feel so good inside, and it really does give me that push to keep sharing what I'm sharing here, because I know that you're loving what is being shared on this podcast. So if you haven't already, go leave a review and you might just get chosen for me to share it here on the podcast. Okay, so to jump into the juicy content of the episode today, smell. All things smell. All things. Let's talk about smell, good and bad. You know what I'm talking about. And for me, smell has always, my entire life, been a huge thing. I, right from a young kid, loved having candles going. I loved it when my mom, every time she cleaned, after she cleaned, she would light incense in the house. And it just gave this super, I don't know even how to say it. It just made me happy inside. And I'm still like that to this day. I think that the way a house smells really affects the people inside, and especially your guests when they haven't been in the home. So they're not nose blind to the smells going on, and then they'll come into your home and they can almost instantly decide if your house feels clean or dirty. You know what I'm talking about. We've all been in those houses that smell like there hasn't been a window open in weeks. It's stale. It's maybe moist, kind of moldy smelling. And there's reasons for this. So let's dive into the tactical steps today, because I'm all about tactical solutions here. So the thing about having a home that smells fresh and feels clean is actually going down to the root causes and finding those root problems of why your house could smell bad in the first place. Lighting a candle or putting essential oils in the diffuser isn't always going to just cover up those nasty smells. That musty, musky, damp, stale air. We have to first fix the issue that is causing that, and then we can add in the nice, fresh essential oils, the lavender, the peppermint, all the things. Okay, so hack number 1 is take out the garbage regularly. So you need to empty your kitchen, your bathroom trash bins frequently, because these are hot spots for those unpleasant odors. Think about it. Diapers in the nursery, leftover food being thrown into the kitchen garbage. I mean, that's just a disaster of smells just waiting to happen so that it can rot away. So it's important that you're taking out your garbage enough. Don't wait for it to be piling on to the top of the garbage can or even spilling out a little bit. I try and take my garbages out at least twice a week. And I mean, We're only a family of 3 with a tiny baby. So if you have a larger family, there's obviously going to be more contribution to your garbage. So you're going to want to take it out more frequently. When I was living with my mom and we were a family of 8, we took the garbages out every single day. And in this aspect, one other thing that you can do just to help with the smell is you can sprinkle a little bit of baking soda at the bottom of each of your trash bins just to absorb those lingering smells. Hack number 2 is leave the laundry machine door open after each use. This really prevents the musty smells and mold buildup by leaving the door open so that the machine can properly dry out completely between loads. Too many times I've been to people's homes and helped them out with their laundry and realized that the second I opened that washing machine, it was like, wow, okay, that is moldy smelling. And how do you think that makes your clothes smell? Not like beside all of it. So every time I do a load of laundry and I transfer the washing machine clothes into the dryer, I just leave the door open. It really only needs to be open for like 30 minutes and then you can close it. And then also one thing that I like to make a habit of is to give the washing machine a wash by using the tub clean setting. I'm sure most washing machines would have this option. About once a month is how often I do it. And that just also helps with the residue buildup and any kind of nasty smells. It's a good way to properly take care of your washing machine appliance. Hack number 3 is open the windows daily. And I know it is the middle of winter right now and it can be cold outside depending on where you live, but you only have to do this for a couple minutes a day. 5 minutes would be great. 2 minutes is even okay. I know I've talked about this before, but opening the windows just really helps to circulate the fresh air in and then eliminate the stale odors. And especially if you live in an older home where there's not, I don't even know what you call it, the furnace systems where it's sucking out the air. This is so bad. I should know this. And then it brings in fresh air. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So I know the newer homes have that, but the older homes don't. So older homes tend to make it easier to smell bad. So that's why it's especially important to open your windows at least for a couple minutes every day if you live in an older home. I personally have found this simple practice to make an immediate difference, especially in the first morning hours of the day. And I don't need to say why. It's just, you know how homes get that sleep smell overnight? Yeah, let's get rid of that. Boys' rooms especially. I used to tutor an autistic boy and they lived just a couple kilometers down the road. We were out in the country and I would go twice a week to tutor him for a couple hours. And I was there often early in the morning. Like I bet you that they woke up like 30 minutes before I got there some days. And I would teach in his bedroom. He shared a bedroom with his older brother. And let me tell you, walking into that bedroom, sometimes it was like, okay, can I open up a window because we're in need of some fresh air, okay? So what I'm saying is, don't be that person. Okay, that aside, moving on to hack number 4, wash your bedding weekly. Fresh sheets not only feel cozy. Let me just take a moment to sit in this. I absolutely love the feeling of getting into a freshly made bed that was washed that day. It is just, the sheets are tight. It smells fresh. It's just great. So changing your sheets weekly and washing them also prevents musty odors. So when I was just talking about a bedroom having that sleep smell, that often is contributed by having dirty bedding. So keeping up with the bedding being washed, the sheets being washed will really help combat that. Hack number 5 is regularly wash your hand towels, dishcloths, and throw blankets that you have laying out on the couch. These items often will harbor smells from daily use. So it's really important to rotate and wash them frequently. I find dishcloths should really be washed every few days, and hand towels or throw blankets could be done every other week kind of thing. Actually, hand towels should probably be done once a week, and then the throw blankets could probably be done once or twice a month, I would say, is a good gauge for that. I really think, like just specifically here, that the dishcloths are a huge culprit. How many times I have been washing or wiping down kitchen counters with a dirty dishcloth, and later after it dries. I remember this one time I was in the kitchen with my mom visiting, and this was back when I was living with her still. And just sitting at the counter with our tea and both of us were just sniffing like, do you smell that? And it was because the counter had been wiped with a really dirty dishcloth. So washing the dishcloths often and just cycling through different dishcloths is a really good idea. Also, every once in a while, I like to give the dishcloths a deep clean and let them soak in some kind of a natural cleaner, whatever you want to use. Okay, hack number 6 is clean out the fridge weekly. And that is because old food can be the biggest culprit behind the bad smells in your home. And this really, I try and do this, like I said, once a week. It only takes a few minutes. And one thing that we have is we have 12 chickens. So the benefit of chickens is when I go through the fridge and I'm tossing out old leftovers, which we honestly don't even waste that much food, but when I'm tossing out old leftovers or maybe a cucumber that went bad, it goes straight into the chicken pail and then the chickens eat it. So it's really no waste. Okay, 2 hacks left. Hack number 7 is rinse the sink drains regularly. And this really helps keep smells at bay, which is like just rinsing down the sink drain thoroughly with warm, clean, soapy water after washing your dishes, especially when you are disposing of dirty water or greasy water where you can literally see the oil bubbles sitting on the top, because what happens is those oils and all that builds up in the sink drains, and that literally is just like a pit for nasty smells to just come out of the drains. So make sure you are rinsing and cleaning out your sink drains as often as you can, and like I said, you only need hot soapy water. Okay, the final hack is number 8, wash rugs and carpet every other month. And that's because rugs and carpet, believe it or not, hold on to lots of odors and dust. Like, think of old houses where I feel like back in the day, they put more carpet in rooms and stuff than we do now. And when you go into old homes, they often smell really musky. And that's because there's carpet in a lot of these homes where so many families and so many different people have lived in these houses over the years, and only God himself knows the smells that these carpets have basically sponged, like just infused into themselves. So making sure you're doing that deep clean once every couple months keeps your home smelling not so bad, keeps your home smelling more fresh. Actually, when my husband and I moved into the rental that we're currently in, just over a year ago, almost a year and a half now, there were these beautiful, and when I say beautiful, I'm being sarcastic, pink, actually kind of reddish carpets in the 2 bedrooms that we have. And so when we came into the home to view it for the first time, it was like, okay, it's obvious that this home is an older home. I mean, they had recently done some renovations in the kitchen, so there were some updates, but the bedrooms were definitely showing their age. And I mean, I didn't like the color, obviously, of the pink carpets anyways, but I just knew that this was just a place that was harboring smells. So when my mom and I were in there painting, we painted most of the walls in the entire home. We were like, you know what? Let's text the landlord and see if he would be opposed to us ripping these carpets out. And he gave us the go-ahead. So there was my mom. I was like 6 weeks pregnant at the time, so I wasn't doing it because I didn't want to strain my back. But there was my mom in there, elbow deep, ripping out the carpets. And let me tell you, it was like a night and day difference. The second that those carpets got taken outside, the smell was significantly better. And now, to this day, I really don't think our house smells like musky or old anymore. Okay, and there you have it. Those are my 8 hacks. And just to give you a summary of what we went over today, hack number 1 was take out the garbages often. Hack number 2 was make sure that you're leaving your laundry machine door open after each use, giving it time to get the moisture out of it and dry it right out. Hack number 3 we talked about was open your windows daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Number 4 was wash your bedding weekly. Hack number 5 was regularly wash your hand towels, specifically also dishcloths, and then also your throw blankets. Number 6 was clean out your fridge weekly, all that leftovers or moldy food that could be sitting in the back spaces that you're not always seeing. Hack number 7 was rinse out those sink drains as often as you can. And then the last hack that we talked about just now is wash your rugs and carpets every other month. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode and found these tips helpful, I would love it if you could take a moment to leave a written review on Apple Podcast. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, your reviews mean so much to me. They help other moms and homemakers find this podcast and become a part of our community here. Plus, I absolutely love hearing what resonates with you. I've had people comment where they specifically loved hearing about the laundry tip I gave. I love hearing the things that really stood out to you. So if you have a second, tap over to Apple Podcast, scroll down to the bottom where you see the purple writing where it says write a review, and then just share your thoughts. So thanks again so much for listening. I'll see you next time. Before you go, if this podcast has encouraged or helped you in any way, the best way that you can show your support is by subscribing to the show and leaving a written 5-star review. Your words truly make my day and remind me why I love sharing here. You can also snap a screenshot of this episode and share it with a friend or post it to your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag me at Her Stable Home. Thanks so much for listening, friend. I will see you next time.